Laudetur Jesus Christus. Dico vobis, via siita querint lapides clamabunt. I tell you, if these are silent, the stones will cry out. The contradictory updates being given about Jorge Mario Bergoglio's medical condition casts a disturbing light on the way Vatican communications are being managed. There are those who believe that the Pope is already deceased, and that this fact is being kept hidden from the public. It is clear that the Vatican and the Bergoglian Deep Church are in a panic, and we do everything to gather the consensus of the cardinals together around the name of someone who will continue the Bergoglian revolution. There are those who have every interest in burying their own crimes, along with those of Bergoglio, while in the United States there is a head-on clash of the U.S. Bishops' Conference against the Trump administration, after the scandal regarding the funds of the Agency for International Development, USAID, has brought to light the complicity of the Catholic Church in the lucrative business of immigration. It is necessary to prevent the progressive hierarchy from ensuring that one of their own is Bergoglio's successor, that is, another usurper on the throne of Peter will be their heir and continuator of the previous one. Before hammering the final nails into Bergoglio's coffin, it is therefore essential and urgent that the light be shed on the usurpation he perpetrated and on the occupation of the Catholic Church by a corrupt and treacherous hierarchy whose sole aim is to destroy her from within. The maneuvers of the St. Gallen Mafia in tandem with the ultra-progressive left, the unpunished crimes of Theodore McCarrick, McCarrick's role within the Democrat administrations, the influence of McCarrick as exercised in obtaining episcopal appointments for his heirs, who are all homosexual and corrupt, designated to fill key positions on the U.S. and in the Vatican. McCarrick's work as Bergoglio's liaison to the Chinese Communist regime in order to obtain the signing of the secret agreement with the Holy See. The role of the Jesuit in promoting the globalist agenda. Bergoglio's scandalous ongoing cover-ups of notorious abusers and perverts. The cover-up of the dossier about the Vatican corruption network delivered by Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI to Bergoglio in April 2013, and about which there has still never been any follow-up. Bergoglio's role in the crime perpetrated against humanity with the COVID-19 pandemic and the imposition of vaccines, the cynical exploitation of illegal immigrants in order to destroy the social fabric of the West. All this and more confirms that the Bergoglian Church is not only an accomplice in the subversive plan of the World Economic Forum, but a leading protagonist. The faithful have the right to know the full truth about all of these events. After years of lies, dissimulation and silence, it is necessary to acknowledge Jorge Mario Bergoglio fraud and put him on trial, restoring that truth and justice demanded by the victim of his reprisals, his intimidating acts, and his connivance in the crimes of his instigators and his protégés. Investigations are needed into his past life, into the crimes he committed in Argentina, which is why he never returned as Pope to his native country, and to the murky events that alleged Jorge Mario Bergoglio was personally responsible for the sexual abuse of young Jesuit when he was novice master in Argentina. It must be clarified whether Tomás Ricardo Arizaga, known as Tomasito, who died on July 20, 2014, at the age of 11, and was then cremated and buried in 2019 in the Teutonic Cemetery in the Vatican, after having had his teeth removed, is really Bergoglio's son, as has been rumored for too long. It has multiple elements lead us to believe. An international criminal alliance united subversive forces to eliminate Benedict XVI, forcing him to resign and replacing him with an emissary of globalism. Cardinal Gottfried Daniels himself admitted it, referring to the Mafia of St. Gallen. Macari reiterated it when speaking at the Villanova University on October 11, 2013. The president and founder of the Voices of Progress, a precious group that deals with climate change, migration, and other woke issues, planned it, discussing it with John Podesta, Hillary Clinton campaign chairman, in emails released by WikiLeaks. The so-called Catholic Spring has made use of Jorge Mario Bergoglio and a corrupted and maneuverable character fraudulently to impose upon the Catholic Church as Pope. We ask the authority of the United States of America and Argentina to provide documents and evidence of this fact. This will prove that Jorge Mario Bergoglio has never been Pope of the Catholic Church. All his acts of government and teaching are null and void. All his appointments are null and void, including those of the cardinals who will elect his successor. It is now time to face the truth with courage, so that the liberation of the Catholic Church from the subversives who have occupied her for too long in order to destroy her may be a radical and authentic liberation, and so that the accomplices of the fraud who are still in the Vatican and will survive Bergoglio may be discovered and put on trial before their criminal action destroys the evidence of the crime they have committed. Laudetur Jesus Christus.